Hi folks, welcome to the channel. You haven't clicked on the wrong video. This is the Voltage World Champion Tungsten-Look barrel set that I reviewed recently on the channel, so do check that out. But it kind of got me to thinking, there's also a Phil Taylor set, and these things again are a similar price point. You can get them anywhere between sort of £10 and £15 if you shop around and find them on sale especially. And I thought, right, well, let's give these a go. Let's see if we can do a better job with the Phil Taylors than we did with the Voltage darts. So, as with the Rob Cross ones then, these are in 24 grams. They're Tungsten-Look barrels, not tungsten barrels. I'm not sure what they're made from. They may be brass, they may be some other kind of metal sort of alloy or something. It's definitely not tungsten anyway. I'm just going to open them up. If I can. That creaking is the packet and not my old knees. There we go, and we're in. So what do we get then? Well, just a quick top card here. Undisputed world champion indeed, Mr. Phil the Power Taylor. 24 grams, made by Target, so they should be a decent quality. And as before with the Rob Cross ones, we've got the snap together Target branded case just there. We've also got some flight protectors on this little spider. We have some flights. Now again, now these ones feel different. The Voltage ones had a bit of a texture to them and didn't feel like the same kind of material actually as the regular flights that you get with Target, like the Visions and what have you. These ones might not be too bad, and they're in a number 6. I'm laughing because generally the Phil Taylor darts have got the most ridiculous tiny little flights that I've never been able to throw, but at least these are going to give us half a chance, I would hope. Alright, so the barrels themselves then, they come in this nice little point holder, and as with the Rob Cross darts actually that we've got just here that we previously featured, we've got quite long stems. Now I normally throw a short stem, and these look like they are at least an intermediate, but more than likely a medium. They look more like jousts actually, almost like Luke Humphreys length stems. But anyway, there they are. Now the barrels then, a tiny little, oh, quite sharp actually, but quite a tiny little point on there. It's smooth and it's black coated, and the barrel itself has got a kind of a, shall we say, almost torpedo shape. There's a taper towards the rear and a little bit of a ball nose on the front as well. The ring pattern on this isn't complicated, just some ring cuts in here. You can just hear that. Not very deep, not massively grippy, but yeah, grippy-ish. So we've got half a chance, probably like a low to medium grip I'd say on this. And yeah, quite a taper towards the rear. And not much else to say. They kind of are what they are. So I'm going to throw some. We'll see how we get on, and I'll come back and give you my thoughts momentarily, probably after about 15 or 20 minutes to give them a fair go, and we'll go from there. Now, as I always say on these videos, especially with the complete sets like these, is I always like to throw them as they come, because if you're buying a really cheap set of darts, they're not, I'm not saying they're a novelty, but they're maybe for fun, maybe for if you've got someone else coming round, for friends, or just for a games night or something casual. You are unlikely to have loads of stems and loads of flights to be able to change them out. So I like to try and throw them as they are. You couldn't change the points if you wanted to on these, because they haven't got a Swiss point or anything like that on there anyway. And without giving too much away on the Voltage darts, they didn't seem to have an inherent balance to them, so it took quite a lot of effort and quite a few different configurations to get them to fly very well. So I'm hoping that these Phil Taylor ones will actually be a bit easier from the get-go, but if not, as before, I have plenty of other flights and stems, so I'm sure we'll find a configuration that will help them fly, and we'll see how we get on. Okay folks, it's about 15 or 20 minutes later, so I'll probably drop some b-roll of the throwing in just to accentuate some points, as it were. So I'll just start by talking about the dart really. If we start with the pointy end, To be honest, the point is really quite sharp and definitely wanted to stay in the board a lot better than the Rob Cross equivalent, so that was always good. Generally the dart itself was a lot more balanced as well, and it was more throwable in its standard guise again than the Rob Cross version was. That's not to say it was amazing though. This thing is rather long to say the least, and yeah, it's got a very long sort of stem and flight arrangement really, so it was a little bit all over the place, but definitely throwable, and that was cool. Now well, you can just see as I did that then, barely touched it, but the flight is very, very shiny, and although they say, I think on the box, that these are Pro Grip shafts, yeah, it does say it there, they're not marked as Pro Grip in the way that the regular or sort of, dare I say, genuine Target Pro Grip stems are, and they just didn't seem that grippy. You'd find that the flights kept popping off and stuff like that when you were trying to throw, and it just kind of slowed the whole thing down and made it slightly less a pleasant experience, as it were. But overall, the dart itself is kind of throwable, if not inconsistent. So I then, though, changed it up, as you saw here, with this Pro Grip and the Al style dimpled flight, and that really did help to sort of make the whole thing a lot more controllable. You could actually aim for doubles and potentially hit them, and I threw a few at the bullseye as well and got a ball with them in that configuration as well. So they did become less inconsistent in themselves, if that makes sense. By putting a shorter setup on it, it did make them sort of more controllable. Also, just while I was at it, I bought some second-hand darts, and they arrived during the filming in the last 10 minutes, and I just checked them out real quick, and it came with these lovely little spinny Al style setup on the back. So I actually tried them out, and the first, literally, I'm not even joking, the first 3 that I threw with this setup, I got 140. So I think that the whole dart just felt a lot more controllable with the aftermarket flight and stem setup. So I suppose what I'm saying is, in their original guise and for the price you pay and what you get, you've got a dart that is for a bit of fun, and you may be able to throw and have a bit of fun with and play a game with, and they will definitely hit the board and they'll definitely stay in the board. And if you wanted to, then there is always the option for relatively less money to be able to upgrade them to your own flight and stem arrangement. You can even buy tune-up kits that have got a selection of different length stems and different size and shape flights and stuff like that, so it's always worth having one of those, especially if you've got a few little sort of cheap sets that you want to try and make work for you. So overall, not bad darts for the money. You know, you've got the champion, Phil Taylor, association. Target's a good brand at the end of the day. You've got a little case you can take around to your friends if you wanted to play there with them. And yeah, overall, not bad darts for the money. So, you pays your money and takes your choice. I would say they're okay for what they are. You get what you pay for, and they definitely are tunable, because we've shown that they can become a lot more controllable if you modify them yourself afterwards. So there's a few thoughts anyway on the Power Silverlight Tungsten-Look barrel 24 gram steel tip darts. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Do check out my other videos, and I'll be back soon, so stay safe in the meantime. Take care. Bye bye.